Well, one of the most important things for us, which I'm sure Coach has already said, is development of our players, because there's going to be, no matter who we bring in here in recruiting, there's going to be a number of people on this football team that are going to be on the football team. So we've got to develop the guys that we have, whether or not they're going to be starters in the future or whether or not they're going to be guys that are on special teams or whatever they're at. And the best way to do that is in individual work where you slow down the technique stuff and really work on those things. And, he gave us, I think it was like 40, 45 minutes of individual time, and that was great because now you can break down things with the young guys. A lot of times when you're getting the older guys ready to play, you're neglecting the young guys because, they're not going to play, so you don't take the time to do, they don't understand things the same way as older guys do that have been experienced in what they're doing. So for me, that was a great practice because we were able to really work on the developmental things of guys. And, schemes and stuff like that kind of go away in the off season. You have to redo a lot of stuff. But fundamentals and how to play certain things and do certain things, that's the thing that can carry over from spring to fall to spring and on through.
How much confidence can a player build from those one-on-one sessions?
Well, I think it's not so much confidence. I think it's just all of a sudden, whoa, I understand what he's talking about. So from that standpoint, I guess that is confidence. He understands what he's doing. Some of those guys who are out there, even when we were doing the developmental practice and we were doing a lot of teamwork, they reverted back to a lot of stuff that they did when they were in high school because they don't have the experience to take the technique from the practice field to the game. And when we were doing teamwork out there, that's like being in a game for them. That's their game. So we just cut back on it. We still did some stuff, but not as much.
Is it unusual with the team that's struggling and not racking up wins to get that much out of them at this point in the season, in that individual stuff?
Yeah, I tell you what, this is a good group. I don't have any problem with this group. I really don't. I mean, just the second half of the game, even though we weren't in the ball game and we were playing against some talented guys, but not first-line guys all the time, I thought our guys kept playing. And everybody says that sometimes, well, our guys played hard. But, I really think that there was a difference. I think our guys didn't throw the towel in, let me put it that way. And so I think they're still with us, and we just got to get better. Just got to keep going. And there's going to be some teams we play, it's a personnel issue.
Of course, yeah.
That's the way it is. And the good thing is we have not gotten blown out of here on every Big 12 game. We've been blown out on a couple of them. But those guys are at the top of the heap right now. So really, we've got a lot of football left to get better and build something for the future, and that's, we're trying to win now, but it's also for the future.
Sure. Coach, I know you've been in the pros the past few years, and this is your first year in the Big 12, but I'm sure you knew this, but this past weekend, 6 teams scored at least 50 points.
Right.
How difficult is it to try to prepare your voice for these guys?
Well, all I know is that Mike Stoops, who I have a lot of respect for, the defensive coordinator from Oklahoma, said to me before the game, he said, look, this is not a league to be a defensive coordinator in. Well, I've said that here, I believe, a couple of times. It's a very explosive league. And, that's why I have faith that we're making some progress because there's been a couple of high-scoring football teams that we've held down. We broke streaks in both those teams, over 30-point games. So, again, you want to win. That's the, it's not, you're not happy if you're not winning, but you certainly have to look at baby steps sometimes and to go forward.
Would you claim that being a defensive coordinator or a defensive player in the Big 12 is one of the most difficult jobs in college football?
Pretty hard. Like I say, the teams that have got in this league have quarterbacks, and they have guys they have skilled athletes, and that makes it very difficult for the defense. When you've got those kind of players.
I'm sure you knew it was going to be tough, but has it been harder than you imagined?
It's harder. Yeah, to be honest with you, I always think, after spring football, I thought, well, we'll be all right. But it is tougher. And, again, when you're in different levels, there's different toughness. you know, I mean, when you're on the NFL, you don't face as many things, but you're facing better players and better guys that can adjust at halftime and do those kind of things because they're experienced, they're men. Here, you don't have that, but you're dealing with a lot of firepower on offense, and it's you have to, you know, I'm learning every day. I mean, that's one of the reasons I took the job. I don't want to. I think it's good for my age guy to keep learning, and I'm learning every day.
Going back to what are you guys looking to get out of this game? Obviously winning. But.
Yeah, obviously the win. But one thing that I remember from last year is that they ran all over us. They had like close to like 400 yards rushing or something like that. So I think that it'd be good for our defense to be able to shut down their run game. So if we could get that, I'd be pretty happy.
What do you guys focus on in practice this week leading up to this game? Like you said, having given up so much rushing yards last year, did the coaches really keep that in mind in preparing you guys for this week?
They haven't actually said anything to us about last year's game at all, which is understandable considering it's a different coaching staff and everything. But I mean, it's always in the back of the players' minds, so it's kind of a motivation for us. I know for me personally it is. But as far as practice-wise, you know, we've been focusing on the run right now because they have multiple running backs that are all very skilled. And then, you know, we focus a lot on their different personnel groups and all their motions and different things like that because they do a lot of motion.
This being homecoming week, is there any extra motivation in that regard?
Yeah, a little different from, like, high school. But, I mean, you know, it's still your homecoming. You still get a lot of football alum coming back, and we want to make all them proud as well as the rest of the KU fans.
So what are you expecting out of this Saturday's game against Texas?
I'm expecting it's going to be a fast game for us. We just got to come out and start fast and be physical up front, and we should be fine.
You've played them the last 2 years. What do you expect to be different this year compared to the last 2 years?
We're a different team. I feel like we're more confident going into this game than what we were last year, so we just got to go play with confidence, and we should be good.
And at this point in the season, you guys, I think, are currently 1-6. How do you guys keep finding motivation in practice and games to keep going out there and play as hard as you can?
Just continue to work hard, stick together. You know, I mean, I know things haven't been going our way, and we see that as well. So we just try to build on from that and just overcome adversity and just continue to play and get better each day.
Having been a lot more competitive in Big 12 games and actually really all games overall this year than last year, is that an extra motivating factor that you guys are a lot more competitive this year, and that's using that as a stepping stone?
Yeah, I guess you can say that. I mean, yeah, we're way more competitive than what we were last year. You know, I mean, things are different now than what we were. We're not giving up as much as what we were last year, so that's a positive note for us. And we just need to finish the game. That's all we need to do.